Hi! Today I wanted to talk to you about good habits in your sewing room. And first of all, a little disclaimer here. I'm not an expert on organization or even sewing sometimes. So it's just a few tips I want to share with you. These are things I've been doing for a while and really work for me in my sewing room. So please, if you have any tips or any routines you do as well, let me know them in the comments, because it's really nice to have a look and maybe they work for me as well. And the first one is, of course, to tidy up really often. A workspace gets messy, and when you're doing projects, you tend to put things where they don't belong and don't put them away, and this builds up until a point you can't find anything. And everyone has their method. So, for example, I have this tray where I put the projects I'm working on so I don't lose anything, and I even have half a drawer to put more bulkier stuff. Which brings me to my second tip, which is knowing what you have. If you're like me, every time I go to the haberdashery, I always buy a meter extra of this tape or a zipper or anything else, just in case. So, just in case is my motto. So I end up with loads of things I don't remember I have, and then sometimes I even repeat the purchase. Some people will not agree with me and tell me that I should buy only what I need, but I find it useful to have stuff around just in case I need it. If I change my mind in the middle of a project and I think, oh, this will go nicely with bias tape, or I better put a zipper in, and I have it. So that for me is really useful. But it is useful to have extra stuff if you know what you have. So from time to time, have a look in your drawers and just remind yourself what you've purchased along the years. And my next tip is not the most important one, but it's been really working for me, and it is to leave everything ready for the next project. Which is really obvious, I know. But sometimes I just leave everything behind because I'm excited to show what I've done, but that doesn't work for me anymore. So I need to take a moment, sweep the floor, clean the cutting table, get everything ready for the next project, and then I'll run upstairs and show it. Because mentally there's nothing worse than coming to the sewing room and seeing everything upside down because you just didn't do it. My tip number 4 is always to wash and iron your fabrics before using them, before cutting them, because they shrink, and it's really obvious, but sometimes you get excited to start a project and you forget the step of washing and ironing. And you feel devastated when you finish a project, wash it, and then it'll shrink, because it won't fit, and you'll spend all those hours for nothing. Which brings me to the next one, which is iron and press your seams. This is really important. Your seams need to be flat and ironed to be able to keep working on them, so just do it. It's the right way to do it. My next tip is to clean your machine more often. Of course, it depends on the use it gets, but more often than you usually do it. I know you don't do it. It doesn't look like it, but the machine gets really dirty inside. All the thread that goes through it leaves this lint that accumulates and gets the machine making noises and not working properly and breaking your thread and all that. I know it's scary to take it apart, but I have a video from a few weeks ago and you can check it out and clean it with me. So don't be scared, and you'll notice it works better. My next tip is to use the appropriate tools. It's really difficult to rip a seam without the seam ripper, or to sew a zipper without the zipper, and you don't get the job as nicely done. It doesn't work. Well, your butcher wouldn't cut your steak with a potato peeler, would he? I don't mean you have to go out right now and buy all the little gadgets there, but the appropriate tool makes the job really nicely done and easier. And my last tip is to embrace changes. Changes are scary, but they're good. If something is not working, if our sewing routine is not working, if our organization is not working, or the furniture placement even. Just change it around until it does. And these are my personal tips. I haven't looked it up, I haven't added any from the internet. These are things I do and work for me. So please let me know down in the comments any tips you have, because sometimes it's really nice and good to see a different approach. And as always, thank you very much for watching it, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss anything that's coming. Bye!